Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my WWE 205 Live review for June 13th, 2017. Um, we had Corey Graves and Vic Joseph on commentary. He's a new commentator. Apparently, he's been doing some stuff down in NXT and stuff. And I guess they just wanted to have him out here on commentary. He's going to be like the new play-by-play guy now of 205 Live. And I thought he did a pretty decent job out there. It was his first show, so I can't really knock him too much. I probably would have to wait a few weeks to see how he's really doing. I think Corey Graves definitely had to carry him throughout the show, but I definitely think maybe he could improve. But tonight it was his first show. Maybe he was nervous too because he's in front of a big crowd. Well, it's 205 Live. It's not going to be a big crowd, but you get what I'm saying. Um, but first, Akira Tozawa is backstage, and Titus O'Neil comes up to him and says that he pretty much hypes him up so that way he can join the Titus brand. He says that he got him a match in the main event tonight against TJP. And he says that, Neville is even afraid because he knows that you're going to be the next Cruiserweight champion. He even starts doing his cha-cha-chin chant that he did last week. And, then he says that and then Akira Tozawa was like, well, yeah, but Apollo Crews said, he was like, oh, yeah, Apollo Crews said joining the Titus brand was great. And he says that tonight you just will focus on winning your match, and once you sign on the dotted line, you'll join the Titus brand, your career will go skyrocketing. So, yeah, that was that. Then we had the first match on the show. It was Cedric Alexander versus Ariya Daviri. I thought this was a decent opening match here. Cedric Alexander dominates the first half of it. He hits a hurricanrana, a drop kick, but then he goes to hit a head scissors while he's on the ropes. But Daviri counters it and hits a kick to the head while he's holding the turnbuckle. And Ariya Daviri dominates the matchup for a little while. Cedric Alexander tries to make a comeback, but Akira Tozawa hits not Akira Tozawa, sorry. Ariya Daviri hits a high knee on him. Cedric Alexander starts to make his comeback, and he's about to put him away, but we hear Alicia Fox's voice, and she's talking to Noam Dar on the phone, and she wants him to go out there and distract Cedric Alexander, so that way he'll lose. And Cedric Alexander hits a drop kick on him, and you can see Alicia Fox. She has they're talking on FaceTime, but it's up on the screen. It's just really weird and unnecessary and stupid. Why is the WWE interfering in their phone calls? So Ariya Daviri tries to win with a roll up. Cedric Alexander still kicks out, hits the lumbar check for the win, and afterwards he hangs up with Alicia Fox. And afterwards, Noam Dar did say, "No, I'm going to get the heat for this later on." Why? He's not the one that hung up on him. I guess because he didn't take him out. I don't know. And Cedric Alexander says he's done with this. So I guess the whole storyline is they're continuing it. But Cedric Alexander's done with the storyline. They really need to end this feud soon. I really hope they do. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, that was just... I thought, I thought the match was decent. Just the finish and stuff was pretty stupid. Then Austin Aries addresses the WWE Universe. This is the first time we had seen him since Extreme Rules. And last week he ended up sending out a tweet talking about how now he needs to rebuild his career because, so he says that he joined the Cruiserweight division to become WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and he says that he just didn't get the job done. He's not going to mope about it. He's not going to make any excuses. He just says that Neville was the better man. But he says that now what happens with Austin Aries? Now what am I going to do? Am I going to disappear? Am I going to take some time off? But he says, because of the attacks from Neville and TJP, the doctors have deemed him medically unclear to compete. And then Tony Nese comes out, and Tony Nese says that Austin Aries should just go sit in the fans and watch him because he's the real future of 205 Live. And Austin Aries then gets on the mic and says that the last time that they faced off, he made Tony Nese tap out. And he says that, what kind of exercise are you doing? Because when did you finally learn how to row a set? And Tony Nese says that it's funny you making jokes, but there's no joke because this future's standing right in front of you. And then they act like they're gonna engage in fisticuffs. And Jack Gallagher comes out and he makes jokes to Tony Nese and sticks up for Austin Aries, and he takes out Tony Nese with the umbrella. And then that was it. I think what they're doing is, I don't know, I guess Austin Aries might be injured or something. I think until Austin Aries can come back, Jack Gallagher's going to feud with Tony Nese, and then Austin Aries will feud with Tony Nese. I am fine with seeing an Austin Aries Tony Nese feud because I think they're good performers, and I think when Aries was on commentary, they were building up to that anyways. It's just kind of weird that it kind of feels like they're going to downgrade Aries a little bit. I mean, Austin Aries, he'll probably just be on 205 Live wrestling now, which I think kind of sucks. I hope eventually he becomes Cruiserweight champion. I don't know when that can happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, Austin Aries and then Tony Nese, I can get down with that feud, I guess. I kind of would like to see Austin Aries turn heel at some point and beat up Jack Gallagher, because they actually seem like they've been growing kind of like some sort of friendship. But you can't really turn Aries heel because you don't have like that big baby face really in the Cruiserweight division. So that's kind of tough. And you can't really have Aries leave the Cruiserweight division either, because without him and Neville, I mean, Aries, he kind of went down a little bit, but he's still, I think, trying to, he's that name in the Cruiserweight division. He's still trying to make it mean something. Without Aries or Neville, this Cruiserweight division is nothing. The competitors are good. Those are the ones that are really established in that division, but that's just how it is. Then we had a video package for Mustafa Ali showing everything that he's ever done. He talks about how he likes to take chances and do all the high-flying stuff. And then he gets interrupted by Drew Gulak and says that Mustafa Ali doesn't do these moves to please the fans. He does it to take unnecessary risks, and it ends up costing him. And he says that you should be like me, a safe wrestler who wrestles with his mind instead of with his heart. And he says that he's here to make a better 205 Live. I actually like this. This was good. Good way to kind of push that feud. And I like this feud. It's probably my favorite feud going on 205 Live, because the Aries Noah feud's now over. And now they're going to have a match next week, as well as Jack Gallagher and Tony Nese. So I'm actually looking forward to those matches. I'll probably forget about them by like Friday, but I think those matches could be decent. Then next, actually that wasn't the next segment. That was the next segment actually was TJP backstage, and Rich Swann comes up to him and he says that he put up a good show on the face of Neville last week for the Cruiserweight Championship, and he says that that was like the old TJP, and he says that last night it's a shame that I never got to face Neville because he attacked me before my match. And TJP's like, does act like he doesn't care. He's like, oh yeah. And then Rich Swann says that he says that that's what happened to TJP pretty much. We both come from the similar past. We both had to deal with struggles. We've both been Cruiserweight champion. But ever since you lost your Cruiserweight championship, you're taking shortcuts and abandoning the people that stood by you. And he says that ever since you turned heel too, you've called yourself TJP. But what would TJ Perkins do? Which I kind of like that he brought that up, because that's pretty much what happened. Right when he turned heel, pretty much, they shortened his name to TJP. So I did like this. I think they're setting up a feud between Rich Swann and TJP, which I would be pretty entertained by. Just because they have a past friendship. They both have the same similar struggles. I think that could be a decent feud. But then we had the main event itself. We had Akira Tozawa versus TJP. I thought this was a decent match here. The main event was good. The crowd really didn't care about it, though. They were chanting CM Punk, Corey Graves at it. The typical stuff people chant when they don't care about a match. And I kind of can't really blame them. It wasn't that the match was bad. It's just there really wasn't any reason for me to care. Akira Tozawa dominates the first half of it, though. He hits a kick to the chest into a senton, and then TJP takes out his knee, and he dominates the matchup for a while. He hits a back suplex into like a belly to back suplex or something, and Akira Tozawa makes his comeback. He hit the dive through the ropes, and then eventually TJP gets him into the knee bar. Akira Tozawa is able to get out of it. He goes for the detonation kick. Akira Tozawa hits a back suplex, and then he hits a senton off the top turnbuckle for the win. And afterwards, Titus O'Neil's backstage cheering him on, and Neville comes up to him and says, and pretty much Titus O'Neil says that that's the next Cruiserweight champion, the future of 205 Live. And Neville says that all you're doing is putting Akira Tozawa in a place where he's going to have agony and pain. He says, pretty much Titus O'Neil says about the same thing. And then the show goes off the air. And then that was it. Overall, I thought 205. But before I talk about that, I don't mind the idea of doing an Akira Tozawa Neville feud. I think that's actually going to be a good match when they have a match and stuff. And that feud could work. I don't like the idea of the feud that you're going with. How they're using Neville and Akira Tozawa to help launch off the Titus brand, and using the whole Cruiserweight division really to help launch that off. I think that's really stupid. It's just really dumb. I don't know if they're doing it because Akira Tozawa can't really talk, speak great English, so they want to have Titus O'Neil out there. I don't know what it is, but Akira Tozawa is not bad on the mic. I mean, he's been with the company, and he's actually gotten better with his English. So why wouldn't they have him go out there? Instead have Neville cut the same promo he did in Raw. Akira Tozawa comes out and challenges him to a match. I don't really know. But I don't expect Akira Tozawa to defeat Neville. Quite frankly, I don't know who's going to defeat Neville at this point for the title. I would say maybe call up somebody from NXT. Have a guy, because I really don't know. But yeah, Neville's still doing great as champion. This episode of 205 Live was a decent episode. Had some decent matches on it. It had some good stuff. But overall, really nothing worth seeing. Kind of stuff felt like a lot of stuff. So I'll say it was probably a decent episode, maybe 6.5 out of 10, because I did like that Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar up until the finish. I like the main event. I like what they did building up the Drew Gulak, Mustafa Ali feud. I like what they did building how they incorporated Austin Aries. It is kind of a shame that he's kind of get downgraded a little bit, but whatever. I'm looking forward to an Austin Aries Tony Nese feud. But overall, that's pretty much my review. My star ratings for each match: Cedric Alexander, Cedric Alexander, Ariya Daviri gets probably I don't even think there was a lot of matches on the show. It was 2 matches. That probably gets a 2-star. That was an average match. And TJP Akira Tozawa gets 2.5. Not a lot of star ratings, but overall, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure to subscribe to my CM Brothers and on the Talkinator channel. Just uploaded a couple episodes of my own Talkinator channel. And make sure to check out more content on this channel, Less Than 1444. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.